Hello there, baby doll cookies. My number one most asked question, and I do mean hundreds, is what do I buy? Right now in the PulseChain ecosystem. I am now making this video to show you what your options are because time is running out. So I'm telling you right now, please don't join behind the $30 million bridged queue line. If you go to plsburn.com, you will see there is no point here. There is money coming in. You might say, hey, I want to go with the money. No, there is very limited liquidity, okay? You see, there's 50 million here. You don't want to join behind these 30 to 40 million. You are not going to buy their prices because they're going to get it in first. I have made already some posts here to show you that the limited liquidity for PulseChain, PLS, PLSX, it's very thin, friends. You only need, here you can see this, 2 million and 1.5 million. And be extra warned now. This does not mean someone can come in and buy 2 million of PulseX and then you can buy 1.5 million of HEX. Doesn't work like that. They're all bonded by the liquidity. You can't get an advantage by waiting for one to go up. They move up and down together. So time is running out. I can only tell you what I'm doing. I have to tell you, obviously, not financial advice or anything. This is what I've done. I am going to shock you with what I've done, okay? I am buying HEX on Ethereum. That's what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, this might not work out. Doesn't really matter. I got everything anyway. Everything's cool. Fingers crossed. But I'm going to show you right now the juice, all right? So HEX on Ethereum, firstly, its chart just looks like the most obvious. We've got all the weekends out ever. But I want you to know this about the PulseChain ecosystem. If you go through a lot of my tweets, I've mentioned, okay, yes, you might see, hey, PulseX is down. Is that the cheapest? It's not. All of the ratios are in line. There is nothing that has capitulated or exploded. I've checked all these different prices, so I can switch the PulseX to Pulse ratio. It's not out of whack. This is nothing. Okay, this is tiny. If it was down here at 0.10, we'd be buying, but it's not here. So if you join behind the $30 million, what are they going to most likely do? They're probably going to buy everything up to the sacrifice prices and get in. And that's going to drag all the other prices out. So you are trapped. You can't do anything. If you join the queue, let's say you got $5,000, for example, if you join after them, you might be buying HEX on PulseChain at a premium. You might be buying PulseX at a premium, PLS at a premium. You can't get anything done. Everyone's going to take the liquidity and buy it up before you if it works out. And we're actually going bullish, okay? So what I would do is I would buy HEX on Ethereum. This is what I would do. So personally, me, all right? So me, I would buy HEX on Ethereum. Why? Because I want you to think about your final goal here. So you might say to me, hey, I still want to get more PulseX or more Pulse or HEX on PulseChain. That's fine. But think about this. If you are stuck in the queue, and I'm going to show you that queue right now again. If you are stuck here, and you are behind like $50 million, the first 30 million get to buy, and you're still stuck there. You are going to wait another 24 hours while everything's going up. And the liquidity is going to be bonded from HEX on Ethereum as well. There are going to be PulseX yield farms for HEX on Ethereum. I can show you, right? The yield farms here. You can see these yield farms. See, there is here. HEX from Ethereum, baby dolls. Look at this. This is actually the yield farm. This is app.pulsex.com. On the farms, you can go to /farms. There is actually money moving in here. So people are going to come here for these yields. And what that means is when, see the second part, WPLS, ignore the W. When Pulse moves up, HEX from Ethereum is going to move up. It's dragging it all. It's all by design. So if you come in and you wait, you're screwed. But what I've done is I've decided, hey, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to store my money in HEX on Ethereum. Because let's say those $30 million gets unlocked and it starts buying up Pulse, PulseX, HEX on PulseChain. They're all going to drag this up. This is going to get dragged up with it. So isn't that fantastic? You get to buy this at a huge discount. This is what I'm doing, by the way. If it goes to zero, it's on you, okay? This is the risk you take, okay? So this is what I've done. Obviously, I've got enough HEX on Ethereum already. But for this punt, okay? So it's 2.7 cents. You're buying anything under 3 cents, it's fine. This is a beautiful, juicy capitulation. A lot of weekends come out, okay? It's down 75%, man, in just like a few days. Okay, so when you do this, you can still have the option to rotate into PLS or PLSX or HEX on PulseChain. And you say, how? Okay, well, let's say this scenario happens. Let's say the bridge is still clogged for another 2 to 3 days. What you might find is this goes up to like up here. So if we do this distance, okay, remember you've bought HEX on Ethereum. This is what I've done. So it might have gone up 50% here, or even maybe 100%. Maybe it goes up even more. Maybe the system just keeps rallying and liquidity keeps coming in. So if you have money parked on the sidelines, you can't participate on this. So if this happens and we're up here, you can then at this point say, okay, I think things have stabilized. You can just rotate out of HEX on Ethereum here, and then you can go use the bridge when there isn't a queue. Do you see what I mean? But if you left your money, let's say you had $5,000, effectively what happens is your $5,000, when it comes up here, it becomes worth $10,000. But if you have your $5,000, you don't take this opportunity and you go join PLS burn and you go join the bridge, then prices can double. You can't buy what you were thinking of. Your purchasing power has now halved. So this is what I'm doing. And I just want to let you know why I'm doing this. I have a strategy video here, PulseChain launch strategy. This was made months ago. Beat the crowd. I literally made this video and I explain here what I thought was going to happen. And one of my videos is, I've mentioned here to you, mentioned to you here, what I want to do is I want to go against the crowd, against them. It's funny here, you can even see my logos. I go, crowd expects PulseX to go down and HEX on Ethereum to go down. That's what they expected. See these two arrows? They expected HEX to go down and PulseX to go down. So you can't even get into PulseChain with the bridge. Right? So I made this months ago. We didn't know there was going to be a bridge issue. So this is going against the money flow, and you do get the benefit of liquidity bonding. This is what I'm going to do. All right. So I am buying HEX on Ethereum. That's what I'm doing. And if I think about buying anything else, I'll think about it later. So that's the risk we take, right? We don't know exactly what's going to happen. However, you would think that if PLS doubles, if Pulse goes a 2 or 3x above SAC, and PulseX goes back to sacrifice price with that limited liquidity that everybody's bridging in to rush in, HEX on Ethereum will recover as well. So this is what I'm doing, buying HEX on Ethereum, because it's actually the only thing you can buy. I'm not joining the back of that $33 million queue. Do you want to buy after people spend $33 million or before? That's what you want to be doing, okay? So I think it's still very advantageous to do. Of course, it doesn't have to work out. And you might even decide for yourself, hey, when this happens, you might say, hey, I want to rotate to PHEX. I want to get more PHEX. That's fine by you. But I'm just thinking about what happens as Richard Hart adds limit orders to PulseX. What happens as the bridge gets unclogged? What happens as maybe the sacrifice money is used somewhere? Maybe more yield farms come out. If you are still blocked with everybody else, you can't participate. Okay, so it's on you. You know exactly what to do. This is the risk we take. This is just throwing around some bullets. Maybe you got some leftover poop coins. You want to participate in this. And look, at the end of the day, I'm trying to be unbiased and neutral. All right. If you showed me this chart, okay, this chart, I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, okay, what the hell is that? This is the freest buy of all time. To me, just to me, this is like the biggest final shakeout. This reminds me of the March 2020 zombie virus. This is just like, well, you know, I'm not even really a chart trader. I don't do any of these signs. Just like, okay, it's daring me not to get long here. Okay, so HEX on Ethereum is what I'm doing, baby dolls. And you do reserve the right. You have the option. Maybe you can rotate later on when the bridge is unclogged. Tell mom and dad that you love them. Like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you in the next one.